One word to describe today.
Only one word. Unreal. That's fire, honestly. Unreal.
When Caitlin Clark stepped back onto the Carver Hawkeye Arena floor, something magical happened. The crowd erupted to 116 dB during player introductions, louder than even some NFL and NBA games, before she even touched the ball. But when Clark launched a 36-foot three-pointer from the exact spot where she broke Kelsey Plum's NCAA scoring record, the arena literally shook. 7 months away from basketball didn't change a thing. Caitlin Clark's homecoming wasn't just a game, it was a statement about what's coming in 2025. In this video, we'll talk about the magical moments you may have missed during the celebrated game. If you're excited about the upcoming season, comment "fired up for the Fever" down below. Let's go!
What does it mean to you to be going back to play at Iowa, but this time with your jersey in the rafters?
Yeah, I'm super excited to go back and play at Iowa. Obviously a place that has meant a lot to me, and we've had so many amazing games inside that arena, so it'll be fun to be back in front of those fans, and honestly to get to introduce those fans to all my new teammates. And the Indiana Fever, I think, will be really special because they love supporting all of us. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and I know it's going to be a special day.
When a hometown hero returns after conquering the basketball world, Iowa City gave us the answer, and it was louder than anyone expected. Hours before tip-off, fans lined up outside Carver Hawkeye Arena. They weren't just there for the game, they wanted to see warm-ups, to breathe the same air as Caitlin Clark for as long as possible. The line wrapped around the building, people standing in the May weather just waiting for doors to open. All this for a preseason game that wouldn't count in any standings.
What are you the most excited to show your teammates around campus?
Ooh. Honestly, I'm most excited to show them how cool Iowa City is. Like, people don't realize how good of a college town that place is. My teammates just expect it to be cornfields, but I'm like, no, it's one of the greatest colleges. So, yeah, downtown Iowa City is where it's at. So we'll give them a little tour, and I'm sure they're going to want to come back.
If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. More videos are on screen now. 7 months is a long time in basketball. 7 months away from professional competition made us miss every single moment Clark was on the court. What will she do in her first play? Will she hit a logo three? Those questions got answered the moment Clark stepped onto the court. The roar was immediate, not just any cheer. We're talking about noise that hit 116 dB during player introductions. That's louder than most NFL games, louder than playoff basketball, all for a player introduction in a preseason game. It was an incredible return for the hometown hero.
Yeah, getting to go back to Iowa, it's so exciting. I obviously haven't really been there much since I left about a year ago. And I think just getting to see people that have supported me throughout my career and continue to support me is going to be incredible. But also, like, they're the biggest Indiana Fever fans too now. Like, they want to meet all my teammates. They want to cheer for my teammates. And I was telling some of the girls this the other day, I'm like, they're going to go crazy for you too.
This wasn't just any arena for Clark. This was Carver Hawkeye. It's the place where she became a household name, where she broke records that seemed unbreakable, where she turned women's college basketball into must-see TV. Iowa is now called the epicenter of women's basketball, and it's all because of Clark. The walls of this building had seen her grow from a promising freshman to a basketball icon. And the fans? They demonstrated their devotion by paying an average of $670 per ticket. These weren't regular season or even playoff prices, these were "I need to be there for a historic moment" prices. Some drove hours across state lines and took days off work just to see their hero back on her home court.
Good luck finding affordable tickets for the Indiana Fever preseason game against Brazil at Carver Hawkeye Arena. Seats at the arena for the May 4th matchup between the Indiana Fever and Brazil were first offered to season ticket holders and a few top donors. Didn't take long for them to be gone.
Even Clark's teammates understood the significance. Lexi Hull wore her 22 Iowa jersey during pregame, a beautiful gesture acknowledging this wasn't just another game for her teammate. This was a homecoming,
They're gonna have signs about you. They want your autograph. They want a high five from you. And I think that's what I appreciate about them the most is like they wanna cheer not only for myself, but everybody else on this team. And they have so much fun watching us. So now getting to take the Indiana Fever to them and their environment, I was telling Lexi and some of the other girls this other day is like, this will be the loudest arena you have ever played in. They're gonna scream, they're gonna cheer. When I tell them to get up, they're gonna get up. So it'll be fun to get to go back there since my last time playing there in the NCAA tournament my senior year, so it should be really special.
The emotion hit Clark too. You could see it in her eyes during warm-ups, scanning the familiar arena now packed to its 15,000 person capacity. This building launched her into basketball immortality, and now she returned as something even bigger, a professional who had changed the game forever. But this homecoming wasn't just about nostalgia and ceremonies. As Clark took the floor for tip-off, it became clear this night wasn't just symbolic. It was the perfect showcase to prove that her connection to Iowa remained unbroken and her basketball brilliance had only grown stronger during her time away. The ball went up for the opening tip, and the entire arena leaned forward in their seats. Clark settled into position, and that familiar focus returned to her eyes. No one in that arena could have predicted how perfectly the night would unfold for Clark and her teammates, but they were about to find out. And the journey would start with a shot that would bring the house down.
Clark, pull up three, you bet!
In sports, some moments transcend mere points on a scoreboard, they tell a story all by themselves. Right off the jump, Clark hits the first basket, and you guessed it, a three-pointer. Who knew that was just a warm-up to what would happen later in the game? When Caitlin Clark pulled up from 36 feet out in the third quarter at Carver Hawkeye Arena with 25 seconds left on the clock, she took 3 quick dribbles and launched a shot that wasn't just a basket. It was a statement.
Better looking possessions of the day for Brazil. Here's Clark. Wow! You bet! From beyond the logo! And a little point after.
Early in the game, you could see Clark settling into her rhythm. The same confidence, the same court vision that made her a legend at Iowa was still there. Her movements looked familiar to everyone who had watched her dominate college basketball. The passes were crisp, the decisions quick, the smile unmistakable. The Brazil national team was already struggling to keep up with the Fever's offense when Clark crossed half court with that look in her eyes, you know, the one where she sees something nobody else does. The defenders backed up, but not far enough. They never do. What made this moment even more special? The exact spot on the floor where Clark pulled up wasn't random. It was the very same location where she had broken Kelsey Plum's scoring record during her senior season. History repeating itself in the most perfect way, now with her new team and under her retired jersey. Without a hint of hesitation, Clark launched the ball from way beyond the three-point line. The shot arced high above the defense in that signature trajectory that Hawkeye fans had seen hundreds of times before. The ball swished through the net without touching the rim, adding that extra touch of magic to an already electric moment.
I saw 30 seconds, I'm like, I can make a 2 for 1 word. You knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Did it get loud in here?
Did you get scored?
Yeah, no.
No one really cares. You gotta be better.
The reaction from her teammates told the whole story. Later, when Clark asked if the arena got loud after her shot, Sophie Cunningham joked, "When you scored, no." Lexi Hull added with a grin, "No one really cared." That playful back and forth showed something special brewing with this Fever team, genuine chemistry that goes beyond the court. The crowd's response hit 117 dB, creating a physical sensation that players described feeling in their chests. This wasn't just noise, it was pure joy unleashed from nearly 15,000 fans who had been waiting for exactly this moment. Fever coach Stephanie White summed it up perfectly. The shot was a good momentum builder and exactly what everyone wanted to see from Clark in that arena. "That's just who she is, what she does," White said, capturing the essence of what makes Clark special.
Yeah, I thought it was electric. It's what you've seen, whether it's from the outside on television or being here broadcasting, but to actually feel the energy. I mean, it is a thing when you talk about having a six man, so to speak. Crowd energy. It gives you a lift. It gives you a boost. It's why we all do what we do, like to feed into these kinds of environments. And so it was a lot of fun.
This single shot embodied everything about Clark: her fearlessness, limitless range, flair for big moments, and deep connection to her Iowa basketball roots. The Logo 3 wasn't just another social media highlight, it was Clark's statement that her WNBA journey would continue. The magic she created at Iowa with that shot, finding nothing but net, set the stage for a dominant team performance. The hometown hero wasn't just back, she was better than ever.
I think it's hard to put into words like what exactly it means to me. It's almost overwhelming to a point. Like, I'm just very, very thankful to be able to come back to a place that continues to support me and see old friends that are having a great time getting to watch me do my thing, that don't play basketball anymore, that are just my friends, and spending time with them. Like, even though it was just dinner last night, like, it's just fun to come back here and like kind of feel like you're in college again in a way, but also it was a little weird like going in the locker room. And
while the scoreboard showed 108-44, the true story of that night at Carver Hawkeye Arena went beyond the numbers. Caitlin Clark's return to the court was far more than a game, it was the compelling first chapter of what appears to be an unforgettable sophomore campaign. The 36-foot Logo 3 undoubtedly brought everyone to their feet, but observing Clark for the entirety of her 19 minutes on the court unveiled something more significant. This is not the same player who departed 7 months ago. This is Caitlin Clark, unleashed.
I don't know, something about this gym like just makes me play well, and these shoes, like it just, I don't know, so there's something about it, but I just, a lot of gratitude and just thankful I can share it with my family too. A lot of them were here, my grandparents were here, and they don't get to come to many either, and these are the moments that like you never take for granted and you kind of just want to stay in for forever. So
while the final score grabbed headlines, something deeper was transpiring on that court. Clark had been absent from professional basketball for 7 months to reflect, train, and grow. The question wasn't whether she'd return strong, but the extent of her increased strength. The answer was immediately apparent. The added muscle on Clark's physique wasn't just for show, she absorbed contact in the lane that would have sent rookie Clark sprawling. She finished through defenders who believed they had her contained. Plays that ended with Clark on the floor last season now resulted in points and Clark jogging back on defense.
We want to compete, we want to be our best, we want to compete at a high level. We've got edgy players, we've got competitive players, and I guarantee you it doesn't matter if we're playing cards or if we're playing basketball. They want to win, and they want to do what it takes to win and position themselves to win. So I love that about this group. It means that we don't waste time in practice, they don't waste reps, they don't waste moments we have to get better, and it really is a joy to coach.
Her court vision reached new heights as well. One pass, in particular, was remarkable, a threading needle between two defenders that hit Aaliyah Boston perfectly in stride for an easy basket. Another instance saw her spot Kelsey Mitchell in the corner before Mitchell even realized she was open. The ball arrived right in the shooting pocket, resulting in 3 more points for the Fever. What truly captivated everyone watching wasn't just the skill, but the sheer joy. Every pass, every shot, every defensive stop was infused with that unmistakable Clark energy. She smiled after good plays, clapped for teammates, and pumped her fist when Boston secured a tough rebound. This wasn't a player merely going through the motions, this was someone who genuinely missed the game she loves.
Clark, pull up 3, you bet! Extra feed, Hall, another, Lampsio, Olsen, some trickery behind the back. Hall elevates and drops it in. Here's Clark, wow, you bet, from beyond the logo, and a little point afterwards.
The post-game moments were just as impactful as the game itself. Clark shared embraces with former Iowa staff members, with tears clearly visible in her eyes. When she eventually left the game, every single fan rose to their feet, forming a powerful display of appreciation that touched even the most reserved onlookers. Her post-game interview, where she expressed gratitude to Iowa fans for always having my back, felt like the ideal culmination of a perfect evening. As the final minutes of that dominant 64-point victory elapsed, a sense of something larger was palpable. This wasn't simply a preseason win, nor just Clark performing for her former supporters. This was the Indiana Fever signaling their intentions for 2025. The groundwork is being laid right before our eyes, a team that shares the ball, plays with enthusiasm, and possesses genuine, unfeigned chemistry. And at the core of it all is Caitlin Clark, the local hero who came back to Iowa to demonstrate that her basketball narrative is just commencing.
Honestly, I was really excited to just get out there and play, and especially getting to do it for the first time this season in front of these fans was really cool for myself. And just seeing the amount of people and young girls and young boys that stand there and scream for me to sign their stuff, I don't take that for granted. That's so cool. I would be lying to you if I thought that was just normal and everybody gets to do that. They don't.
Beneath all the buzz surrounding Caitlin Clark's homecoming lay something even more encouraging for Indiana Fever fans. Indications that this team is constructing something truly exceptional. It wasn't solely focused on one player, it was about a completely revitalized team. The manner in which the Fever dismantled Brazil highlighted everything that was absent last season. The ball moved swiftly around the court, locating open shooters, while defenders aggressively pressured the ball, forcing 26 turnovers. Players celebrated one another's achievements. This wasn't just Clark and her acquaintances, this was a genuine team. After a rookie season marked by difficulties, many questioned if Clark could truly integrate with her new teammates. Could all the individual talent acquired during the offseason actually translate into victories? Could they convert potential into tangible results? For one night, at least, the answer was a resounding yes.
How important was it for you to showcase this to your Indiana Fever teammates? That this is special.
Well, I'm just thankful I could bring them all here. I wouldn't be who I am if it wasn't for them. So, this is what women's basketball is all about, and all these people, 15,000 people and more, love them too. So that's what it's about.
Kelsey Mitchell demonstrated precisely why she is the ideal scoring complement for Clark. Her 17 points included 4 three-pointers, many of which came from precise passes by Clark. Mitchell's 3 steals also underscored the elevation in her defensive intensity. When questioned about the offensive improvement from their previous preseason game, Clark was direct. It wasn't choppy like our Washington game. That was hard to watch at times.
Lose it. Another chance here for Indiana. Here's Mitchell, wiggling and cupping it in.
Aaliyah Boston's performance might have been the most encouraging sign of all. Her stat line of 11 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists demonstrated the potential of the two-woman game with Clark, which could become the fundamental backbone of this offense. Boston's ability to consistently make smart, impactful decisions with the basketball truly stood out all night, effectively creating valuable scoring opportunities for both herself and her teammates throughout the game.
And you have the 3 teenagers on the roster as well.
Here's Mitchell popping and hitting from 3.
Lexi Hull and Sophie Cunningham proved they're exactly the type of complementary players this team needs. Hull knocked down 3 crucial three-pointers, while Cunningham's infectious energy and high basketball IQ consistently created perfect spacing for the offense. Their shared willingness to make the extra pass and find open shots kept the offensive flow strong. Dana Bonner, Natasha Howard, Sydney Colson, and Michaela Timpson brought in the essential energy, grit, and hustle. Just check out this sweet play from Colson to Howard.
Indiana. Here's Howard running with Colson. Oh, Colson! Some trickery behind the back. Caitlin Clark, a big smile.
Coach Stephanie White's defensive approach looks completely different too. The team held Brazil to single-digit scoring in 2 quarters, something that would have seemed impossible last season. Our defense was really good, White stated, though she noted they're still working to minimize miscommunications and mistakes. The pace and flow of the Fever's offense looked nothing like last year. Players made decisive cuts, found the open shooter, and played with obvious confidence. Clark orchestrated effectively without dominating, showing complete trust in her teammates. Perhaps most telling was Clark's physical transformation. The added muscle was obvious, helping her absorb contact that would have sent her flying last year. Clark explained, "Being consistent in your training helps you feel better throughout the season, and in the playoffs the game gets more physical." As the final buzzer sounded on that 64-point victory, the celebration wasn't just about the return of a star, it was the first glimpse of a team that spent 7 months building a foundation for what could be a breakthrough season. The Indiana Fever aren't just Clark's team, they're a complete unit ready to make serious noise in 2025.
I'm glad I can be a role model for them, and they have a great impact on me too, and that's why you do it. Even at the end of the day, say I scored 0 points, I'm sure they still would have been there screaming my name and wanting an autograph, and I think that just really kind of puts into perspective the impact, and there's a lot more bigger things in life than basketball.
At Carver Hawkeye Arena, it wasn't just a basketball game, it was a glimpse into the future of women's basketball. Clark's return to Iowa showed us something special, a connection between player and fans that goes beyond jerseys and scoreboards. When Clark encouraged that final cheer as she left the court, she wasn't just saying goodbye, she was saying see you soon to a journey that's only beginning. The Fever aren't just building a team, they're building something that could change women's basketball forever. With veterans, new additions, and a coaching staff pushing them forward, 2025 isn't just another season, it's the start of something historic. If you're excited, refresh the page for more updates and insights into this evolving landscape of the sport we love. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe, more videos are on screen now.